Welcome back, everybody, to the Wrightway Sports Network. I'm Daniel Alameda here with Aiden, Maher, and we're here to break down the New England Patriots free agency so far. So let's just jump right into this, right? The Patriots, they let go of the best interior offensive lineman, Joe Thuney, but then they went on an absolute splurge. They re-signed Cam Newton for a one-year deal. They added weapons like Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith. The list goes on. So the bottom line is the Patriots were active in free agency, but let's talk about the quarterback situation. Right now, they have one quarterback on the roster, and that is Cam Newton. And whether you like Cam Newton or not, let's talk about it. Is Cam Newton the guy for them, or where should they go with the quarterback situation? Aiden, talk to me.
Where should they go with the quarterback situation? Well, I would love one of these guys in the draft, but I don't feel like it's a realistic option. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, those guys are out of play. Trey Lance or Justin Fields kind of feels like a long shot at this point. Mac Jones is a potential option, but I don't love him for the first round, contrary to maybe your belief.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, the Patriots are going to have to stick it out with the bridge quarterback this year. And that guy just might be Cam Newton. But at the end of the day, I don't believe Cam Newton is anything more than a bottom tier starter in the NFL. If you give him a very good offensive line to sugarcoat his poor pocket awareness and his slow mechanics, and you give him weapons to dump the ball off to, because if the game plan to go with Cam Newton is a short game, run with him, give short passes and get the ball into playmakers' hands. In that case, he can be a bottom tier starter in the NFL. But like what I saw last season was a high-end backup quarterback. So at the end of the day, Cam Newton, can you make the playoffs with him? If you have the highest tier of coaching and the highest tier of talent around him, maybe. And then even then, you're a fringe playoff team.
So I'm just going to make this quick. Bill Belichick loves Cam Newton, right? He's raved about his personality, raved about his locker room presence. And that's why I have so much belief in the fact that they're going to build this offense around Cam Newton. And we saw that last year, right? We saw a lot of power run schemes. We saw him still having his mobility. Cam Newton, I watched 4 games this morning of Cam Newton. His legs are still there, right? He's still able to break it outside the pocket. He's still able to succeed on play action passes outside of the pocket. So right now with what the Patriots did, they gave him weapons, right? That's a huge thing. You have to give them weapons. They gave him weapons. Their offensive line is still top 15 in the league. So I'm not going to go and put in a guy like Trey Lance or put in a guy like Justin Fields and throw him into the fire. And I'm sorry, Bill Belichick doesn't want to either, right? The Patriots right now, it seems like with all their activity in free agency so far, they're making one last push for the playoffs. They're making one last push for the postseason. And whether that's the right move or not, that's the way they're trending. So right now, Cam Newton's their guy for this year. I don't think that they're going to go and draft a quarterback. So Cam Newton's their guy, and he's going to have success this year because last year, right off the bat, and I know you're shaking your head, but we both saw that Seattle game right off the bat, right? He looked terrific. And if you give him weapons, he's going to succeed. So I know you don't really agree with that, but I'm telling you, his film showed a guy whose arm is still able to throw 40, 50 yards down the field, because I saw it with my own eyes. I saw him throw 40 yards down the field.
Different. I saw in the Rams, I believe it was the Rams game, instead of going for a Hail Mary, there's one where they go for a Hail Mary, you can't even make it to the end zone, then another one where they just hand the ball off. Instead, Cam Newton, to throw it 40, 50 yards, he needs a clean pocket for 3+, like he needs to get into his windup. Cam Newton, at the end of the day, poor pocket awareness, poor accuracy, poor overall mechanics. And as a runner, he's not good enough. I'm sorry, he's an average runner, I'd say, in my opinion. He's an average runner.
And yeah, and to just differ off of that, I mean, we both share different opinions on Cam Newton, but pocket awareness, sure. Mechanics, sure. But what I saw is they built the offense around his mobility, and he can still run the ball. I literally saw him run the ball 40 yards down the field, 30 yards down the field. They gave him, whether it was designed runs or whether it was on play action passes, him breaking a tackle. I still saw not the same agility he once had, but I still saw him have some sort of agility. So whether you like it or not, Cam Newton's a quarterback, right? He's going to start this season and he's going to take them to the playoffs. But Aiden, let's talk about their other moves, right? The weapons that they added. Talk to me. Do you agree with them adding Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne? Tell me your thoughts on them adding those weapons.
I don't love it. I thought Nelson Aguilar was an overpay. He has upside to be like a very good number 2 wide receiver. But the thing with Nelson Aguilar is I've heard a lot of things about his character. and there's an issue there. He's soft. They say he's a charismatic guy, but he's also soft. And was that part of the reason he really struggled in Philly? Did he just need that change of scenery in Las Vegas? How will he fare here in New England? And then with Kendrick Bourne, whatever. He's a wide receiver 4, maybe a wide receiver 3. It's a nice pickup, maybe. We'll see how it happens. I think he's a decent route runner, but nothing more than a fringe wide receiver 3, in my opinion.
That's fair. That's fair. But at the same time, you touched on the receivers, but let's talk about the tight ends, right? You added Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, both of them when healthy, top 15 tight ends in the league. So something that we're definitely going to be seeing this year is them moving into more 2 tight end sets. Last year, they ran the least amount of tight end sets in the entire NFL. I believe it was 3% of all their plays were 2 tight end sets. We're going to see so much more of that because of the talent at tight end. So that's also another reason why I'm confident in this offense, right? Hunter Henry, when he's on the field, is going to be great. And Jonnu Smith is a versatile piece. He's a guy who can help you in the run game, and he's a guy who can, after the catch, is a top 5 tight end. Yards after the catch, that's where he thrives. Are you excited about the tight ends?
Oh, of course I am. Of course I'm excited. Like, listen, last year's receiving core sucked. It was awful. So now you're adding 2 elite tight ends in Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. This is a team that loves those 2 tight end sets. And in the past few years, they've got no production out of their tight ends, and they've had to go away from those 2 tight end sets that they know and love. So I'm really happy that they have added these guys, and it is going to benefit Cam Newton in this entire offense.
Yeah, and that's why I think right now Bill Belichick, he's smiling. He's sitting pretty on his side throne. But let's talk about their defense, right? We touched on their offense, but defensive moves they've made a lot, right? They went out and added Matt Judon on the edge, went out and added Jalen Mills at secondary, whether it's safety or cornerback. You also added Davin Godchaux, I believe, to help with the run, right? So Aiden, talk to me. What are your thoughts on their defensive moves that they've made? Is it good enough to rebound and be a top 10 unit this year?
I'm not ready to say that yet because I want to see what happens with Stephon Gilmore, J.C. Jackson. How do they fill out the rest of this defense? I mean, there's a chance they trade Stephon Gilmore and don't match J.C. Jackson. But first of all, Matt Judon, that's the biggest move. That's the boomer bust move for the New England Patriots. He has the upside to be, I thought it was an overpay, first of all. But at the same time, he has the upside to be a productive player for this team. If they get creative, if you move him around the defensive line, use his versatility correctly, and realize that he's not some game-wrecking, clear edge number 1 type of guy. You have to give him good matchups, put him in that off-ball role. He will succeed. But if they treat him like some game wrecker, some Khalil Mack, he will not succeed because that is not the player he is.
Yeah, I think the bottom line is what I saw to them this free agency is they just want to add talent on the defensive side, right? I love their edge rushers right now. We got Chase Vinovich, and we also got Josh Uche. I believe that's how you say his name. He was a great second-round draft pick last year. And the thing that people are also failing to remember is the fact that you're getting Dante Hightower back, right? You're getting him back because he sat out last year. You're getting Patrick Chung back. You have Bill Belichick, one of the top defensive minds in the NFL. This defense is looking good. And something else I want to touch on, like you said, maybe they should go up and draft a quarterback. I think they should draft a linebacker, right? You either, for me right now at pick number 15, you have 2 options. Either take Patrick Surtain as a cornerback if you're going to let go of Stephon Gilmore, if you're going to trade him, or you can also go out and get Micah Parsons. I'm a huge Micah Parsons fan. I love him at the linebacker position. I think if Bill Belichick is going all in, they got to add some defensive pieces. But what do you think? What else should they do the rest of this offseason on the defensive side?
On the defensive side, well, you hit the nail on the head with linebacker because Dante Hightower, he's coming back, but he's getting older, and who knows how he's going to look after a year off of football. Jawan Bentley got a lot of snaps last year and frankly was not that good. Yes. So inside linebacker has to be a spot that they address, get more talent there in terms of you have some pending free agents still too. Like, as I said, J.C. Jackson, and I want to see what they do with Lawrence Guy. I thought he was a key piece of this defense last year. One of your worst games against the run when he was missing, you were facing a mediocre Miami Dolphins offensive line, and Salvin Ahmed ran all over you when he was out of that game. But he's a key piece, and I know you have Godchaux now, which should help. But Lawrence Guy's somebody that I want to see. Can they bring him back? And if so, I think that really helps their defense a lot.
Aiden, my guy, they've made a ton of moves this offseason. They've been
Yep.
the most active team in free agency. As it stands right now, I know it's only March. We're about 4 or 5 months away from the actual season. What's your prediction for this team? Are they making the playoffs? Are they winning a playoff game? Talk to me. What's your prediction?
I'm definitely not going as far as saying they're going to win a playoff game. And as I said, I want to see how the rest of this offseason goes. How do you fill up the rest of those needs? How do you do in the draft? Are you going to botch it? Are you going to hit on some picks? I want to see. But as it stands right now, I think this team's capable of making the playoffs. But at the same time, I'm skeptical. Cam Newton's that's the thing that's holding me back. You need a good quarterback to win today's league. And I'm sorry, Daniel, Cam Newton's one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the league right now. He is. And we can talk about how the weapons are better. That's going to help. The defense is certainly better. That's going to help. Bill Belichick's as hungry as ever. So I'm excited. I think they can make the playoffs, but you've got to make a couple more moves to shore up this roster, and maybe you'll squeak into the playoffs. But even then, this team's ceiling is a fringe playoff team.
This team is going to surprise a lot of people, though, right? And the reason I say that is I'm telling you, Cam Newton, right? Bill Belichick loves him in the locker room. He's a great locker room personality.
That's
and
true.
He just exudes confidence, right? The whole locker room is going to be confident. This team knows that they want to win now. And that's why I'm excited for them. I think that they made a lot of great moves in free agency. I don't really care about the money because the bottom line is you want to get your team better, and that's what they've done. You give Cam Newton another year in the system. You give him some more weapons. We'll see what they do in the draft. But right now, Bill Belichick, as you said, is hungrier more than ever. And I'm confident in this Patriots team. Right now, they're a playoff team. I'll give them a wild card. As you said, it's way too early to say if they'll win a playoff game.
Yeah.
But the moves they've made, everything points to Bill Belichick wanting to compete one last time. I personally think they should go out and draft a future franchise quarterback. They believe in Cam, man. They believe in Cam, and it showed. If you build your offense around him, nice little play action, bootlegs, power run game with Damian Harris, this team could surprise a lot of people. But Aiden, let's finish it off, right? Any final thoughts you have?
Well, in terms of Cam Newton, again, I'll say it. Do they really believe in Cam? I don't know. I feel like a lot of the reason they brought him back was because he checked off Bill Belichick's boxes. Take the lousy contract in year one, say good things to the media, be a source for him in the locker room. Cam Newton checked off all those boxes. So I feel like Bill Belichick saying, hey, you can be our safety net here. You've earned this, and I really like you. He likes guys like that. So I don't know if they really look at Cam Newton as a good quarterback, but I think he checked off Bill Belichick's boxes, and I hope you're right. I hope you're right on Cam Newton. I just don't see how he's more than a bottom tier quarterback in the league.
Aiden, I hope I'm right too, man. I hope I'm right too.
I hope you are. I really do.
but that does it, right? Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, right? We got breakdowns like this coming every single week. NFL free agency. We got so much good content coming out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on all our other platforms at TWSN, the Wrightway Sports Network. But thank you guys very much, and we will see you guys next time here on the Wrightway Sports Network.